The Humungus and the Black Mamba, they need no introduction really. They're well known as out and out small water fish slayers. But which one's the best? Today I'm going to fish them head to head to find out. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, and if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to click that subscribe button. I would really appreciate your support. Well, I'm staying local this week and I've come to Weston Lake. It's on the Albury Estate and it's the biggest of the lakes that they have on the estate. It's a really well stocked venue and I'm looking forward to getting in about the hard fighting fish here at Albury. Well, let's talk about today's contenders. Now, the first up is the Humungus or the Shuggie. Now, if you live or fish in Scotland, you'll have had to have been living under a rock to not have heard of this fly. You'll either have it in your box or you'll certainly have heard of it. Now, there's a lot of he said, she said about this fly. From what research I've been able to do, I've found that its main development came at Loch Leven. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a link up in the bar to Dave Downey's tying of the fly. He will also give you a brief history lesson on how it was developed, or at least his version of that. Next then, the contender, the Black Mamba. Up until a short time ago, I had not even heard of this fly. I tied a booby for the channel and I called it the Black Mamba. The fly tying police were on me like a tramp on chips, and for a while there, I thought they were going to get me. It was a genuine mistake. I named my fly after a bad guy's cloak on a kids movie called Megamind. It's well worth a watch, by the way.
Yeah, you! Bring out the Black Mamba.
Anyway, enough of that drivel. The fly was tied by a guy called Gareth Wilson from UK Fly Fisher. Who knew? Everyone, it seems, except me. But Gareth has done a video for the fly, and again, I'll stick that up in the information bar there for you to check out later. I'll be using my version of the fly, so fly tying police, stay at bay. I didn't have all the materials to tie as the original was, but I'm sure it'll do just the job. So that's our two contenders. Let's jump right in. Well, obviously I can't fish both flies at the same time, so we need to decide which fly we're going to choose first. And that's easy enough done. I'm going to flip a coin. Okay, in the interests of fairness, how I'm going to do it is I'm fishing both flies on a very slow intermediate line with 10 foot of tippet and whichever fly attached. So first up is the Black Mamba, as decided by the penny, and I've got that all rigged ready to go. So let's see how we get on. 30 minutes each. I've set a timer on my phone, and once the phone timer goes off, we'll swap the flies round and see if it makes much difference. Well, I fished the Black Mamba first for 30 minutes and I managed one take and a couple of follows, but I didn't get any fish to the net. So I've not long started fishing with a Humungus, and after only 5 or 10 minutes I'm a fish up. So far so good. It's 1-0 to the Humungus. Let's see if we can't get some more. So what I'm doing, I've come to the Windward bank. The fishery's very busy today, so on this bank anglers are a lot less inclined to come and try and cast into the wind, so there's a bit more space. And what I'm doing is I'm casting as best I can, and that's not particularly good, and then I'm employing a pretty fast figure of 8 retrieve. And what's happening is the fish are coming in. Sometimes I'll get some tail nips, but eventually they'll lock onto it and I'm into a fish. Well, I'm nearly at the end of my second session with the Black Mamba. So that's about 55 minutes of fishing with a fly, and it's failed to get me one fish to the net. The Huey, it had 30 minutes and I managed one fish and had a number of tugs and takes as well. So the Black Mamba is looking like the underdog to me at the moment. Another method then, if you want to try and speed up your retrieve and your fingers can't keep up, you can simply tuck the rod under your arm and hand over hand retrieve your line. Now what this does is it gives it a continuous retrieve in the water, which can be really alluring to fish, and very often they'll follow it for a while before committing and then taking the fly. Again, as you get near the end of your retrieve, just keep an eye on the end of your line, because that's very often when the takes will come. Well, that's time up for the Black Mamba. It's had its half hour and I'm going to change over now to the Humungus. Well, the jury's in. So what happened? I fished each fly for an hour each in half-hour blocks, and the Black Mamba unfortunately failed to bring a fish to the net for me. The Humungus, however, brought 3 fish to the net. Now, does that prove anything? Absolutely not. This is just a little bit of fun to see whether one fly would be better accepted over another. And what it boils down to, I think, is confidence. Now, many people will say, well, you didn't tie the Black Mamba correctly, and that's true enough. I didn't have the materials. I used what I had. But what I would say is I've got huge confidence in the Humungus fly, or the Shuggie. It's caught me lots and lots of fish over the years, and every time I fish it here, I'm always confident I'm going to catch a fish. Now, confidence plays a massive part in fly fishing. If you're confident that a pattern's going to take fish, then 9 times out of 10 it will. Please let me know in the comments section below what's your confidence fly when you go to a venue. Now, YouTube think that you should watch this video next. I think you should tie up this fly because it's something you're going to need as the summer months progress on. Thanks very much for watching, and tight lines till next time.